A manager came to me not too long ago and they came with a lot of frustration. They came saying, oh, I've got a few people in my team. They had about 3 or 4 people in the team, and there was a lot of overlap of the work that was being done. People were getting frustrated with each other because one person might do a bit of engineering design and another person might do something similar, a little bit different, but there was a lot of overlap in the work that was being done. So people would go off and complete tasks only to discover maybe 2 or 3 days later that someone else had been working on the same thing. Now that leads to a lot of frustration in the workplace. It leads to tension between 2 people, it leads to tension within the team, and it leads to a lot of frustration for you as a manager because you've got this conflict going on in your team. The manager that came to me about this just didn't know what to do. He'd had meetings, he'd had conversations about this, but still the issue was recurring again and again. What I proposed for this manager was to use a tool called the SIPOC to help him map out his whole team and their roles and responsibilities. Now, the SIPOC stands for suppliers, inputs, process, outcomes, customers and their responsibilities. And the way that I proposed that he use this for his team was to first of all think about the process in terms of all the different tasks that individuals needed to undertake in their role. Then moving on to the output or the outcomes and to say, okay, in doing that task, in completing that activity, what's the outcome? What's the output? What's the thing that is achieved? And then moving on to think about the customers. So who are the people that receive that? Now a customer in this case could actually be another team member, and that other team member will have requirements. That's the final part of the SIPOC, the R. What are the requirements of that other team member? Or maybe it's another department within the organisation or another team. On the other side of the SIPOC, we think about inputs. So we get each individual to think about all the different pieces of information that they might need that go into the work that they do. And then the suppliers, so who actually gives them that information? And again, the supplier could be another team member, or it could be another team or another part of the organisation. So the way that we did this for his team was to ask each of those 3 or 4 individuals to create a SIPOC for themselves. And then they came together and discussed what they looked like, and then very visually, very clearly, everyone could see the overlaps, not only in the tasks that were being done, but people could see the overlaps in the outcomes that were being produced, the customers that they were talking to, and also on the other side, the inputs that were required, and also the suppliers, so who those things came from. And at the end of that discussion, and this meeting only took about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, the individuals would have spent about an hour working on this for themselves. So it's really a small investment of time to help understand the inefficiencies that might be happening within a team. And that helps you to figure out then, well, how can we make this more efficient? On the website, we've got a SIPOC template and a few instructions to help you to manage this process as part of a team environment, as part of a team development exercise. We've also created a training course called Lead Effective Engineering Teams. And in that course, specifically in Module 2, which is about designing great teams, we've got some more information about this to help you to design effective and efficient and high-performing teams.